of the World Cup rankings this year. That would be an improvement on 10 positions on last year. Klaus Siebert, pretty special coach.
I think he is so special, like Andrea Henkel as an athlete, but Klaus Siebert, he's got that gift where he can bring the best out of athletes. He identifies what he has to say and do to bring the best out of each individual.
Henkel has been around long enough to coach herself. The overall champion in 2007. She's got a haul of 8 major medals, Olympic and world titles, lots of them coming from the relay event. But she's one of few who's won the Olympic individual event and the world title. In fact, Tora Berger, currently the Olympic champion and the world champion, as is Emil Hegler-Svensson on the men's side.
Yeah, that's some feat to do it 2 consecutive years at the majors. And Miriam Gersner, she used to share with Neuner and best of friends. Now she's still young, but maybe she'll raise up to the challenge of taking the best German at this racing season.
Only 22, Miriam Gersner. Now, let's have your first prediction of the year. How many targets is she going to hit today?
Right, Gersner, I would say she'll hit no more than 15.
Well, that certainly will rule her out of a win. Stromstedt of Sweden comes from Stockholm, but will spend much of her time up here in Oestersund, where the facilities are so good. In fact, they're going to rebuild much of the stadium as soon as these races are finished on Sunday evening. They start the reconstruction. They don't hang around, and they're telling me they're going to put the press centre behind the targets.
Wow. Stromstedt just skiing now into the darkness of the forest. She's a great singer. She plays the violin, and she loves her house decorating. Just thought I'd mention that one.
Well, I've got a job for it. Now, let's see how Palka's doing up at 1.5 kilometres, 5:10. That's steady. We won't really get a good indication until someone else has been through. She's not pushing the pace at the moment. Remember, it's 15 kilometres. They've got 4 chutes in all, so it doesn't take a genius to work out that they're skiing 3-kilometre laps.
I can't believe she's putting the anchors, the brakes on at the top of this descent. It is a little fast. It is a little edgy. You have to get your edges in. But losing all your momentum is not good.
Some would say better safe than sorry. A fall at that particular point will cost you at least 20 seconds. But it's nice to see people attacking the course. That gives an opportunity for those who are good at downhill. We'll see how many decide to take the careful route. Marie-Dorin-Habert from France goes number 13. 9th in the World Cup standings at the end of last year. She got 12 top 10s. That's a really good season by anyone's standard.
It is, and you know, with her 93% hit rate in the prone and though only 83 in the standing, Doran is a safe bet today for, I think, again, another top 15.
Semerienko through 1.5. Coming up behind her is Razmatchuti from Lithuania. And she's not going too badly at all. 5:08 on the clock for Semerienko. That's an extraordinary start for the Lithuanian. 8.4 inside, and if she can hit some targets, it's going to be a useful day. All the hard work on the uphill for Razmatchuti, and then throws away a couple by taking it easy on the downhill. Mari Laukkanen for Finland, of course. Finland will be relying on Kaisa Mäkäräinen to do something today, a woman who's already got 5 wins on the World Cup and was the champion back in 2011.
Laukkanen out on the track just started. She was one of the few athletes. Well, she didn't finish in this race last year after a poor start on the range.
Kalinchik in the red and green of Belarus.
I must say, Patrick, just looking at the Belarus team, the way the sparky start that they've had, and technically they're skiing, for me, this is an improved team coming into the new season.
And the women certainly look good in the mixed relay last weekend. And the women in the Belarus team just that little bit stronger than the men are. Bescon, 6 French athletes racing today. Slight changes on the numbers permitted, Mike, and that's resulted in a field of 102 as opposed to 122, which I think we had last year, and we've had more than that in the past. Regardless of that, the individual is still a long, drawn-out race.
It is. It absolutely is. And I do like the individual. It's a race where we have to be a little patient, but it really does, for me, test the strength of the biathlete when you're becoming more and more fatigued mentally and physically to get these small targets.
Now let's have a look and see. The snow, as you can see, is falling fairly vertically, so it's eased off. It was blowing quite hard about an hour and a half before the race started. Fortunately for the women, the wind easing off while they were zeroing the weapons, so they shouldn't have any major problems. But the pressure of the first individual race of the season can always play on the mind.
To break your position like that, rebuild it, the bullet, the empty case didn't eject, so she had to pull it out with her finger.
Well, if Palka can hit 5, Brunet can certainly hit 5. Have a look at the routine. This should be nice and smooth. Double blinder.
She's so good. You just saw the flags have died down a little, so she's adjusted 3 clicks to the right.
Nice start, and puts the sights back again. My goodness, she's on the ball at the moment. Smidienko. This is quick, working from right to left, new school. Oh, and that's the danger, Mike. That's exactly why Brunet goes for the central target first.
Good point. I think that of course, Shemarenko, I think she really snatched. She rushed that last shot, and it throws it wide. You can see the weight below the front sight, the foresight, an extra, I think, about 200 grams added onto a rifle. What a pity.
Yeah, skiing hard and throwing it all the way. 2 minutes added. That's roughly 800 meters added to her distance, although it is, of course, just a time penalty as we watch Olga Zaitseva blasting her way out of the start. She'll mean business this year. Zaitseva going in group number 1. She's got start number of 22, as you will have seen, out of Moscow, and was 6th in the world last year. Tora Berger did even better. She finished 3rd and was very much in the running right up till the last World Cup out in Khanty-Mansiysk in Siberia. Will she challenge for the overall World Cup this year, or will she focus on the World Championships in Novo Mesto?
Well, I think she realises without Neuner here, she has a chance to take the overall. Of course, Berger was 3rd overall last year, and she really does see that as a possibility to be the best overall within the racing season. Now Grigorin, she's her statistics, again, she's reading the flag, she's adjusted 3 clicks to the right as well. She's fantastic in the pro position, her stand shooting lets her down.
Have a look at the trigger finger, hardly see a movement. Great drills. Deserves that result.
And discipline, you can see with the athletes who have got the control. It's very difficult when you're so out of breath to keep control and in distress almost physically.
Now, what's going to happen to Anna-Karin this season? She was brilliant in 2011, shot well, skied exceptionally fast. Didn't really come together for her last year. And for me, it's a question of how much confidence she's got early season. If she starts with some bad races, she's going to find it very difficult to come back. Henkel. More experience than anyone else here today.
Oh. She's 12 seconds off the pace coming into the shooting range. And she needed to hit all 5 here.
Now, Gusner, that's not a good start from her. What did you say, Mike? 15 out of the 20?
I think so, at best. Now, it's interesting, Patrick, Gusner starting only 30 seconds behind Henkel. She really pushed the pace to get... it's comfortable racing with your teammate ahead of you. You know how they pace. but I think she's pushed a little hard.
Now the Russian women with Wolfgang Pichler in charge. We'll wait and see how he's done. I don't think last year was a fair reflection on what sort of a coach he was, Mike, but after 18 months in charge, should we be starting to see changes, either better or worse?
I think we should definitely see how it is evolving, and you would expect it to be better. He did say in an interview in one of the Russian papers that he felt within the team, some of the other coaches, there wasn't complete unity. A friend in Moscow was telling me.
That's 4 out of 5 for Stromstedt, and she can afford maybe one more mistake if she wants to get herself in the top 20 today. That's how critical it is. 1 minute, 1 second. She would have been 1 second outside Gorekova had they all gone down. So have a look at the standings at the moment after the first shoot. We've got Gorekova leading, Grigorin in second place for Slovenia. Kristina Palka, who started number 1, is in third position, and Marie-Laure Brunet, 5 out of 5, just taking it nice and steady in fourth place ahead of Skardino, Vaja-Semirienko, and Andrea Henkel of Germany, who missed one, is outside the top 7. A bear in the black and yellow, the French colours, which I'm sure you're familiar with by now. French on a high after their success yesterday in the men's individual. Great performance by Martin Fourcade. Still, he said he would have been happy with the top 3. Helena Ekholm's sister just starting, Jenny Johnson. Johnson, of course, Ekholm's maiden name.
Giacchino just scoping there for Dorana Baer, and it was good. It was, for me, that was the fastest 5 shots so far.
And a margin of 11 seconds. Very healthy start for the French woman. Zaitseva coming up to 1.5 on lap number 1. 5 seconds, 5 minutes, I should say, from Razmiechuti. Still the fastest time, but we saw her miss 2. She paid a heavy price for pushing so hard early on. Zaitseva, plenty of experience, 10.3. I think she'll be reasonably satisfied with that progress over the first loop. Tora Berger.
This looks altogether more dynamic, isn't it? I know that she takes very small strides. She keeps the cycle of energy, the momentum going throughout all her moves here. And it's fast.
Any change in technique from last year? You're always suggesting that maybe a few technique lessons wouldn't go amiss, but why change it if it works?
And I think it's balanced, it's good, the energy's in the right place at the right time, and of course it's the way she puts that cycle of energy together.
Solumdal just starting for Norway. She'll be roughly 6 minutes behind Tora Berger.
And these bright lights, Patrick, in the stadium, I think it's a good idea.